Hello legends, today we review what I call a box build. Hello legends and super legends, welcome to Veloharmony. In today's video we do a unique review of a true BMX classic revisited. There is a former world champion that lends his name now. He used to own the company called Haro bikes, and they make a bunch of different bike lines. This is the Team Master, the Haro Team Master that we're doing a box build on, and it is just beautiful. Check this out. It's a true trick bike. It has what is called a Detangler or a Gyro that basically allows them to be able to do those tricks without the rear brake cable getting entangled. It's an excellent invention that they use. So those of you who are not familiar with this, or even if you are, I want to bring the camera closer and show you the specifics of this machine. And it was a joy to work on it and put it together. And I was just really thrilled to be able to complete everything, because you have to really be familiar with the decoupler, the detangler, to really perform and get the brakes working like they're supposed to. But I will bring it real close and show you how this actually works. Hey you legends, let's get close to this machine. I want to start over here to just show you the workmanship and the quality of materials. Look at this crank arm, it's 175 millimeters. Look at the size of this crank and look at the quality of the machine work. This is a 44 front chainring and this is an 18. I literally had to count the teeth. So that's a 66-inch gear. And look at the size of that chain. I want to talk about the pedals while I'm here. High quality. It's plastic, but it doesn't feel plasticky. It feels almost like aluminum, but it's plastic. It's just a very high quality pedal. And they've got these raised, almost like studs on the pedals to give you traction. Let's go over it. The Haro Master here. They make all kinds of, this one is called the Lineage, and it's up here on the decoupler, the stem here. It's called Lineage. That's the series under the Master model. But what I want to do is show you while I'm here this what we call the Detangler or the Gyro. It's an invention that allows them to do this with no problems when they're doing their tricks. Okay, because the rear brake, which is what you see these two wires are for, the rear brake kind of starts from here on these two wires right here. They run down and they split and come over to almost like a coupler here. But what this does, it only connects this part to the top part over here, right there. And this piece, the bottom part, we will call the lower cable, so that's the upper cable. The lower cable attaches to the bottom part with the ball right there. So when you brake, the top pulls the bottom. And that's how the braking occurs back here. Okay? So since you don't have the cable continuing, you're able to do that. And it just spins around. It's a very challenging system. If you're not familiar with it or you haven't seen it, it's not very intuitive to work on, because you have to take up the slack in all these cables before you even connect. And the way I set it up for him is that the cables are nice and tight right now. The braking is nice and tight so that as the cable loosens, all he will have to do is adjust these. Like the barrel adjuster will tighten things up for him. So everything is set to where right now it's at the minimum, and he can only go tighter now from here, because I didn't want him messing with this system because he really doesn't understand it. The owner used to be a world champion, and he's getting back into it because, you know, the years have passed, and he just wants to get back riding. So he got a 26. This is called a 26 based on the size of the tire. He used to ride 20, he said, when he competed back in the day, you know, in the 70s and 80s. And so he brought this down here. The braking is very complicated. So if you have a bike like this, be careful where you take it. Make sure you got a very experienced mechanic to put it together, because it's not a simple system like the other ones have. The headset also, they did a special aluminum cap here. So basically what I used was a plier to go in there without scratching or anything once it was loose, to tighten the headset, because you got to make sure the headset is nice and tight. Let's see what else to look at here. Let's look at this workmanship on the wheels. Look at that polished aluminum. So beautiful. A wheel like this kind of design would look great on my Colnago with the chrome fork that it has. I mean, look how beautiful that is. And it feels as good as it looks. You run your hand on it, you can feel how polished it is. Even the bolts that hold the wheel, they worked on. Nothing was skimmed. Look at that. I'm tilting this camera so you all can see. Look at the bolt back here. That is not a bolt you will find at Home Depot. Look at this, the hub. Okay. Even look, I think I talked about how beefy this chain is. Hope the camera does it justice. And just look at that hub. And the wheels are made for strength, so they have a lot of spokes. The tire is, of course, a 26, but it's designed for multiple surfaces. You can see the tread is kind of smooth. Just a beautiful machine all around. Look at the stem. Everything is just a work of art. The guy who designed this is an artist that used to be a world champion as well, Bob Haro. He lends his name to the company now because he sold the company. He used to own Haro bikes. He sold the company, but he lends his name. And look at this skid plate they put under there. Is that cool or what? So basically, this is what we call a box build. They've got something on the front here. I'm not a BMXer or anything, but I believe that this is probably used for some of their tricks. But look how integrated that is. So, some of them come with attachments that you can put down here. His didn't. I believe that you could use that for some of the tricks. I'm sure he knows what it's for. But it's set up to where once it's tightened, you should be able to do that easily and put that back up. It's on both sides of the front fork. And you can see it looks like something they would use for their tricks because it has grips on it that you could basically to keep your foot in place. I think it's when they actually stand on this and spin the back of the bike around. I believe that's what this is, because I've seen some of the shows that they've done where they'll flip these down and stand on. Some of them would stand here, have attachments on there. But I think this looks way cooler. So when you're not doing that, you just fold it up. It's out of the way. These are the strongest brakes I've ever worked on. They were so hard to keep against the rim with my hands. And I wish that I would probably look into maybe either designing something myself or finding something that will allow you to clamp the shoe of any kind of bike, the brake shoes onto the rim, just clamp it on there while you work with it, because these were a challenge because I wanted to use all the tension in the cable that I created from here without having to use the barrel adjuster. As you can see, the barrel adjuster is at what I call minimum. So from here, any movement will tighten it even more. So if the brakes were to come loose on him, all he's got to do is back this off. So by setting it this way, it allows the lay person to continue to make adjustments in the future without running to the shop all the time. That's the way I do things. So look at that. It's beautiful. I wanted to share this with you all because it is such a beautiful replication of what used to be. And this company, Haro Bikes, does a great rendition of this. And these bikes are known worldwide. Even in the UK, they're there. There's some shops that carry them. But it's kind of like a niche as far as BMX, the BMX world. So if you're not in it, you're not going to know about it. But I know a good thing when I see it. And when I saw this bike, I was like, wow. So I asked the guy if I could film it for the channel. And he agreed, of course. He was really thrilled. So there it is. The Haro Master, Team Master is what it's called, Team Master. Haro Freestyle is what it says here, Team Master. An excellent machine. Is a 26 size here. So they're pretty neat bikes. They're hard to get because they're always sold out. This gentleman had to wait 4 months to get this copy. So I hope this eye candy gets you guys worked up to get your K's in. So no matter what happens, don't let anything stop you. So well, legends, I hope you all enjoyed that little summary there of this machine, because I know I didn't cover everything. It's not possible to cover everything. But what I want to do before we go, I'm going to take it off the stand here. It's a beefy bike. It's not as light as ours, but I don't think they do this for weight. They do this for strength. Even the bolts on the saddle are crafted. I mean, just beautiful aluminum, just the bolts. Even the seat collar is designed. And I hope maybe I'll do a blow up and you can see that closer. But what I want to do, I'm no BMXer, but what I noticed when I was working on the bike, if you hold the front brake, it grabs. The back lifts very easily. Look, this is one of the tricks that they do. You can hold the front brake like that. This goes up and then they swing. Let me get out of the way. You know how to swing the bike like that? That's what I was talking about earlier. The decoupler allows them to do that. So they can go all the way around with that bike. I just wanted to show you that. You know, it's such a nicely done machine. Just beautiful, beautiful job. So no matter what, let nothing stop you from getting your K's in. We're everything bikes on this channel. So we don't really frown upon any aspect of cycling.